All right, Shay. Well, speaking of topics that we hate to discuss, but we basically have to at this point. But COVID has struck, Shane, something that we
Mm.
we avoid at all costs. But it's cost us an SEC bowl game, Shane, because Texas A&M not able to play in the Gator Bowl. That was officially announced on Wednesday. I'll throw up Texas A&M's official statement here on the YouTube channel. But apparently they were down to, let's see what it says here, 30 some odd scholarship players available in this football game, including just 13 defenders. So, you know, and that's a combination of opt-outs, COVID, season-ending injuries. I mean, just don't have the players to play against Wake Forest in the Gator Bowl. And interestingly enough, they've pivoted already. They're at Rutgers. Oh, Shion. Oh, he's got his ass to a bowl game. He found a way to get Rutgers to a bowl game thanks to A&M bouncing out of it. But man, it just hate to lose a bowl game like this, and particularly after last season. I thought we were done with this during bowl season, but I guess this is going to remain a topic for the time being.
Yeah, a frustrating topic, Mike. One that we'll never stop talking about. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is if kids got COVID, okay, I get it. But if he was, at a group with somebody that used to have it or did have it, it's just one of these close contact deals. That's the part that sucks, man. It's like we test daily, we'll test daily. If they don't have it, let them play. But just because they were in a room with somebody for 5 seconds, it's all of a sudden we got to rip them out of their class. But again, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to be that guy, So we try to steer clear of the C word, So, but it is frustrating because I was really wanting to see Texas A&M whoop some ass, and I feel bad because again, here you are, similar. I mean, think about this, Mike. You got a situation where you got some Aggie fans that wanted one more game, one more opportunity to watch their team play, maybe had arrangements made. They were going to go to this bowl game. You've got some players on that team that will never play college football again. This was their last opportunity to suit up for a college football team. And it's not just, it's a combination of that. Now, I try not to be selfish, but I am. I wanted to see it. But, I feel bad for the ones that are really close to it, the ones that this is it. This is the last game. You always remember your last one, and it sucks that your last game was, cut short because some people opted out and some people were in close proximity to somebody that had COVID.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see why so many Aggies opted out of this one, Shane. Maybe they saw this coming with just the numbers being low, and from what I understand, the ticket sales were pretty abysmal when it comes not from Wake Forest side, but from the Aggie side. So
Yeah.
Pretty interesting combination of factors here, but I did find it comical that people saying the Aggies running from Wake Forest. Oh, give me a damn break. I mean, the Aggies were favored in this football game. Talking about wanting to see the Aggies one more time, it was sounding like Haynes King, who won the job in fall camp and started the season as a starting quarterback before he got injured. Sounds like he was going to be good to go. So, man, I would have loved to seen him return to action and get a head start on the 2022 season. I'm sure he'll be fine moving forward, but just selfishly, I would have loved to see one more game against a quality opponent, at least a quality ACC opponent, if you can call him that, for Haynes King. So we were kind of robbed of that, but it is what it is. It sucks.
I'll tell you, man. There has been a lot of shit talking online, and I wish Texas A&M could opt back in. Jimbo could pick about 6 scholarship athletes and go over there and beat Wake Forest. So I'm not worried about them at all. We've seen them play, but I hate it again for the fans. I hate it for the family, and I hate it most for the players on that team. They'll never get to take a snap again.
Right. And speaking of that, the dreaded C word, Shane, Alabama has officially announced that offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien and offensive line coach Doug Marrone both have COVID as well. Now, the statement, I'll throw it up here on the YouTube page as well, but it just says they are both expected to be returning in time for the college football playoff matchup against Cincinnati. So They're both experiencing mild symptoms and all that. So, it sounds like they're going to be fine. Of course, that's just the expectation. Things could change. Thankfully, Nick Saban's got him an army assistants down there. It's not like, if a coach or two is unable to be there, I mean, they got plenty of guys to step right in and kind of assume those roles. But I wanted to mention that because the College Football Playoff Committee, Shane, has come out here and announced their official COVID protocols. And, man, this really got me heated, Shane. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. But, of course, we've got 2 college football playoff games upcoming on New Year's Eve. We got Alabama, Cincinnati, and we got Michigan, Georgia. And according to the College Football Playoff Committee, if for whatever reason, let's say Cincinnati unable to play against Alabama because of COVID, Alabama automatically advances to the national championship to play the winner of Michigan versus Georgia. And even dumber, Shane, if some catastrophe happens and let's say Cincinnati and Alabama cannot play their semifinal playoff game, the winner of Georgia, Michigan will automatically be named the national champion. And I just want to get your thoughts on this, Shane. I mean, of all the things that we got to cancel, I mean, can we not push this back? Or, I mean, there's got to be so many alternatives other than just, well, hell, we'll just scrap the 2 most important games of the season.
Yeah, what's terrible is we made it all season through the games. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're getting here to the finish line, and now all of a sudden, I don't know how all that stuff works. I am not a scientist. I'm not here to preach COVID facts to you or anything like that, but it would be horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible for this game to be decided by COVID. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't. Do you know what the numbers are? Like, is there a line? Because I remember last year there was some restrictions on different types of players. Like we could have so many. You had to have so many offensive linemen, so many. Yada yada yada. Is that the similar pattern, or have they even come out with that?
Yeah, honestly, I've not heard any talk of that because I thought we had moved on from all this. I mean, I'm not aware of any player. I'm sure there have been some. I know of a handful, I guess I should say, but I don't know any like position groups knocked out this season. I know, like I said, a player here or there that's maybe had to miss a week or two. But yeah, I mean, I thought we were over and done with this, and now that's why the only reason I want to talk about this because all of a sudden we got a national championship game in a week, and they're saying, well, hell, if they can't play, we'll just crown one of the other teams. I mean, how stupid! Like. We're talking national championship here. If that happens, and let's just hope none of this matters and they can just play, which is probably going to be the outcome anyway. But if something happens, let's push it back 3 or 4 days. I mean, what in the hell is the harm in that?
What exactly do you have planned in February? I mean, I don't want to interrupt your Valentine's Day or anything, but it seems like we could find a way to play the college football playoffs. You're not moving anything, so I don't know. I'm with you. This has got to get played, and it is kind of funny. The only team that has an opportunity to beat Alabama that first week is COVID. That's crazy to me. So no, I think they get in their bubbles. They hang out for a good 5-6 days, and then they get them tested, and then let them play this ball game. I don't think there's a chance. I think this is one of the. I don't want to get too worked up. I think Texas A&M scared the hell out of everybody, but I think, there's not opt-outs with Alabama. There's not opt-outs with Georgia. And there's, these teams are coming to play. So it's going to take a serious, I don't know, maybe just a group setting where a whole bunch get it, but I just don't see that happening, Mike. I think they're just too much money's on the line, man. I know what it boils down to is these universities, if they don't play, there's money going to be lost here. So I think they're going to do everything, their due diligence, to make sure that these kids stay in their groups, stay in their pods, if you will, so one doesn't affect the other, and they'll be ready to play. So, I'm not worried about that. But
maybe at the end of the day, Shane, that maybe you make a good point. Maybe that's the silver lining of losing this A&M game. I mean, we hate to lose it. We just talked about that, but maybe Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, Cincinnati see that and say, well, hell, they done canceled one team. You know what I mean? Like if we don't, whatever protocols they got to go through or whatever, maybe they'll make sure they're strictly following it, because those players got a national championship to play for, and I mean their legacies in those college towns and within their family and their peers and everything. I mean, that we're talking the rest of their life they'll be known as champions, and we're only a week away, man. So fingers crossed. Hopefully none of this is an issue. But man,
who'd you say was out? Bill and Doug?
Yeah, about Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator, and Doug Marrone, the offensive line coach.
Golly, they're regretting that trip to Applebee's, ain't they?
And apparently, man, I forgot about this one. So Georgia has not announced this, but everybody and their mothers reported it. So I got to say reportedly, it may not even be true, but every outlet is sharing this news that JT Daniels test positive for COVID. So I don't know if he's going to be out, but hell, if Bill O'Brien and Doug Marrone are supposed to be back, I would safe to assume JT Daniels will be back in time as well. But how much preparation time is that going to cost him? Maybe if he was going to be the starter, maybe that forces their hands, and maybe that means Stetson Bennett is going to start against Michigan. So just a little wild card out there that may affect Georgia's preparation, and maybe it doesn't. Maybe he was going to be the backup all along, or maybe he's far and away, they see in practice, the better quarterback, and they're saying, well, hell, as soon as he's back with QB1. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Can it be fake news? Like, can it be like like they just put that out there just to mix things up, and then the whole team comes out there, and all of a sudden the glass breaks like Stone Cold, and here he comes outside the locker rooms like this whole week you've been game planning for the mailman. So I don't know. I think just keeping them on their toes. That's the cool thing about the off season. You just never know what's going to happen. I'm hoping for some great games. I mean, Vegas obviously wants Alabama and Georgia to play each other. You and me obviously want these guys to play again, but we got to get there. You know what I'm saying? So these little news articles that keep coming out, they drive you nuts, but they are news, and they need to be paid attention to, because if your quarterbacks are out, man, you're screwed. So
right.
I promise, if we get any more news like this, we'll be sure to put it on the Twitters. And if it's real bad, I guarantee we're going to jump on. Even if it's mid-Christmas, we'll jump on here and let you guys know, okay?
Yeah, you made me think of something, Shane. If that were to happen, maybe this is all smoke screen. JT Daniels comes out here and has a career game. I can just see Harbaugh complaining in the post game immediately after. He's going to be bitching about something. You know what?
Oh, yeah. And I guarantee if Georgia doesn't have a quarterback, Cousin Eddie would find one. He's like that, like a Christmas vacation, They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Georgia's going to play this game. Alabama's going to play this game. And I'm looking forward to it, man. But I guarantee, yes, he will complain the entire time in his pleated khaki pants,